Vampire-themed games are returning with darker worlds, violent combat, and ruthless survival themes. These upcoming titles focus on blood-fueled abilities, tense encounters, and grim atmospheres. Let's get into it. The Duskbloods is a multiplayer action role-playing game where up to 8 players enter matches that mix player versus player and player versus environment combat. Players choose from more than a dozen blood-sworn, vampire-like fighters with different weapons, firearms, and abilities. Characters can be customized in a hub by changing their blood history and fate, which affects abilities, appearance, and match rolls. Dynamic events, summonable companions, and victory points shape each match before rewards are given at the end.
And transport him to a night of moonlight, to humanity's very dusk.
Close your eyes and contemplate now the moon, as befits the soon-to-depart.
I pray that you are able, carrier of blood.
Will flow for one, and one alone.
The Blood of Dawnwalker is a dark fantasy action role-playing game set in 14th century Europe. Players control Kain, who lives as a human during the day and a vampire at night, with different abilities in each form. Combat uses swords, magic, and supernatural powers, while quests advance a time system that moves the story forward.
To arms, vampire!
Vampire's Bloodlord Rising is a dark, open-world action-adventure where players awaken as a vampire lord and rebuild a fallen castle. The castle core must be fueled with blood to unlock regions and regain strength. Players hunt for blood, craft items, gather resources, and command thralls to build and protect the domain. Combat uses different vampire forms, including aristocrat, hunter, and bat shapes, while the Inquisition hunts the player. Solo or 4-player co-op modes are available across the land.
Hunt alone, or rule the night together. Rise, Bloodlords.
have the strength to mock death.
Vampire Clans is a tactical action role-playing game where players build a vampire clan and fight for control of Paris. Players expand their lair, unlock new rooms, and strengthen abilities through upgrades. Combat uses blood magic and the chronostasis system, which slows time to plan attacks while controlling up to 3 vampires at once. Stealth or direct combat can be used during missions, while alliances and rivalries between clans affect power across the city.
Got nowhere left to run.
Heresy isn't a myth or a bedtime yarn.
SacriFire is a role-playing game that follows Ezekiel Raiden, a young priest caught in a conflict between gods and demons. Combat combines real-time actions with turn-based commands, letting players fight alongside companions, switch weapons, and chain attacks into combos. The game uses detailed pixel art mixed with 3D environments for its presentation. Players move between the underground city of Antioch and the spirit realm of Erebus while solving puzzles, crafting equipment, and exploring dungeons.
You'll get used to it.
Just remember that when you're a bishop and the difficult choices come,
save yourself. Abandon the false god. There are laws even.
Redemption of the Damned is a survival horror game set in 19th century Europe where players control Professor Abraham Van Helsing investigating brutal murders. The game combines careful combat with investigation, as ammunition is limited and wounds affect performance. Players examine bodies, collect clues, solve puzzles, and craft weapons such as pistols, stakes, and relics. Enemies have specific weaknesses, so preparation and the right tools are required to defeat creatures and track Dracula's generals.
They say that you are a bloodhound, a tracker of the supernatural.
Nightborn is an action role-playing game set in a gothic version of modern New Orleans where players create a vampire detective known as a bloodhound. The character investigates disappearances linked to vampire factions, werewolves, and other supernatural threats. Players can fight with weapons and powers, use stealth, or rely on dialogue to handle situations. Feeding sustains abilities, while different lineages provide skill trees with powers such as shapeshifting, mind control, and eldritch magic.
Club. You must want something really bad if you're looking for it here. What's wrong, vampire? Afraid I might bite? I can't imagine the horrors you've seen. Others avoid creatures that go bump in the night. You have some neat tricks. You have to show me how you do that sometime.
Any truth to the rumors that your maker was a pirate?
Moonlight Peaks is a life simulation game where players live as a young vampire in a small supernatural town. Players manage a farm with magical crops, raise creatures, and gather ingredients for cooking, potions, and spells. Social systems allow friendships and romances with werewolves, witches, mermaids, and humans. Character customization unlocks new vampiric abilities such as heightened senses and shapeshifting, while home building and seasonal activities provide daily tasks across the town. Bloody Hell Hotel is a management simulation where players control a vampire restoring a ruined estate into a working hotel. Players repair rooms, decorate interiors, install appliances, and expand the building while managing guest needs. Resources are gathered by farming, crafting, and fighting through dungeon areas beneath the estate. Cooking, hiring vampire staff, and upgrading facilities help keep the business running, while feeding on guests restores vampiric powers when needed.
The moment his wings were...
Legacy of Kain Ascendance is a 2D action platformer set in the dark world of Nosgoth, built around fast combat and vertical movement. Players chain melee attacks, evasive dashes, and supernatural powers while moving through levels filled with enemies, hazards, and puzzles. The game features multiple protagonists, including Kain, Raziel, and Alalith, each with different abilities and combat styles. Animated scenes and pixel art visuals support the story across ruined kingdoms and shifting timelines.
of France.
Castlevania Belmont's Curse is a 2D action exploration game set in medieval Paris where a young Belmont hunts monsters across the city and a looming castle. Combat centers on the iconic whip, which can be used for attacks and movement across hazards. Players also use secondary weapons and abilities to handle different enemies. Levels include traps, secrets, and puzzles that require timing and planning while moving through interconnected areas.
So now, we appeal to you, Trevor Belmont, last of House Belmont.
We're milking this bunch of pixels like there's no tomorrow. Come again to feel the magic of the average Italian countryside in a...
Vampire Crawlers: The Turbo Wildcard from Vampire Survivors is a turn-based deck-building game with roguelite elements set in monster-filled dungeons. Players build decks, gain new cards, and create long combo chains by playing cards in ascending mana order. The Turbo Turn system lets players act at their own pace while stacking effects for stronger attacks. Runs involve leveling up, finding treasures, summoning allies, and moving through multi-floor dungeons with different interactions.
Customize your abilities to control the unhinged chaos of...
Welcome to my stronghold.
Vampire's Bloodlord Rising is a dark open-world action game where players awaken as a weakened vampire lord and rebuild a ruined castle. Players gather resources, craft tools, and hunt for blood to power the castle core and unlock new regions. Thralls can be commanded to build, hunt, and defend the domain, while different vampire forms provide varied combat styles and abilities. The game can be played solo or with up to 3 allies in cooperative mode.
Shadow of its former glory.
You think I'm cruel, but you don't understand that I'm trying to help those who have lost hope.
Blood gives me strength. Vardin, what have you done?